Hi everyone, welcome at Shatter's Comedy and TV Studio. I really appreciate your presence and thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube channel and for following me on my social media page for both Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc, etc, etc. Alright, um, today I'm talking to you guys. I don't know where you're watching me from. I don't know where you are from. Neither do I know where you are chatting me from. But I know that wherever thing that I'm going to say, you're gonna touch you. Alright. Alright, everybody. This is your right hand side. Alright, this is your right hand. Place it by your left hand on your chest. You discover that you are hearing a sound. Your heart is beating poo pa poo pa poo pa poo pa. Alright. Now, all living organisms, both male or female, have this organ known as the heart. And the heart is a major organ in the body system that controls or coordinates most of the activities of the body system. Because it is the heart that transports oxygen and nutrients that we eat food, to all over body system or body tissues and cells, so that they can get energy and nourish themselves. If the heart is not into function, of course you will not be alive or you will not be in existence. The moment the heart ceases to beat, you're automatically a dead person. Alright, and that is why I have decided to talk about the heart today, because this is a major concern, global concern, that is killing all living organisms on the planet, on the surface of the earth. And it is a global concern that brings about a lot of things, a lot of factors that both youth, old and young, are dying because of this condition. And most of people are dying because of their social lifestyle, and most of them is because of the genetic factors. Now let me delve into what is called hypertension. Alright, let's talk about the hypertension. Alright, but before I talk about hypertension, what is the heart? What do you mean by the heart? The heart is a muscular organ that sustains life by pumping blood throughout the body system. An average heart beats about 72 times a minute with the body at rest, and each contraction follows by limited relaxation. Alright, an average heart beats about 100,000 times in 24 hours. That is a day. That is a day. I said that an average heart beats about 100,000 times a day. That is within 24 hours. And about 4,300 gallons of blood is pumped into 60,000 miles of blood vessels all over the body system. Now, there are three basic things that kill individual very easily and commonly. The first one is called pulmonary embolism. Pulmonary embolism. Number two is called myocardial infarction or heart attack or ischemic heart disease. And number three is called stroke. These are the three things that easily kill individual within the blink of an eye. Sometimes you will just sleep and you discover that you not wake up. The many cases you heard or you have been hearing people sleep and they could not wake up the next day is because of the result of the three conditions: pulmonary embolism, myocardial infarction or heart attack or ischemic heart disease, and stroke. These three disease conditions or these three conditions are called silent killers. They may be disturbing you in the body system, but you may not know. That is why it is essential, it is paramount to visit a health facility for medical checkup regularly, so that you will be knowing, or so that you can know or ascertain what is happening in your body system. Alright. Nobody cannot just wake up and die. The human body is designed in such a way that you cannot just die easily like that. Before one die or before you die, something started happening long time ago in your body system, but you do not take care of it. As in, you seem to eat that, is not something to care for. That is why I've decided to reach out to you guys, audience all over the world, to educate you and to mentor you and advise you on some of the prevailing issues and disease condition that is affecting our community and society as a whole. Hypertension prevalence. What is the prevalence of hypertension globally? I'm talking on the global basis. About 1.28 billion adults aged 29 to 79 years worldwide have hypertension. Most to third living in low and middle income countries. About 45% of adults who have hypertension are unaware that they have this condition. Less than half of adults, 42%, are diagnosed and treated. 1 in 3 adults, that is 33% of adults, have hypertension. Hypertension is a major cause of premature death worldwide. One of the global targets for non-communicable disease is to reduce the prevalence of hypertension by 33% to the year 2030. What is hypertension or high blood pressure? Hypertension is a condition in which the level of blood pressure is higher than normal. It is a condition in which the level of blood pressure is higher than normal. That is blood pressure. Everybody in this lab had blood pressure, have blood pressure. But the moment it goes beyond its limits, it becomes high blood pressure. And this is where concern comes into, because basically it is supposed to be high, neither low. So once it goes beyond the limit it's supposed to go, there's a problem. There's a major problem there. So there's a concern you have to look into. Now, what are the risk factors of hypertension? Risk factors. What are the when we talk of risk factors, alright, we are referring to the categories of people or population or kind of people that are more vulnerable or more at risk of coming down with hypertension or high blood pressure. Number 1, tobacco smokers or tobacco smoke. Many people out there, they are unaware of some of the dangers that are involved in this their lifestyle. Tobacco smoke. How does tobacco smoke? It's one of the major risk factors of hypertension. Okay, let me explain to you why it is the major concern or major risk factor of hypertension. Scientists have proved that tobacco smoke contains over 4,000 chemicals, many of which are very, very harmful. We have 3 components of smoke. Number 1, we have nicotine. 2, tar. And 3, carbon monoxide. Nicotine. When a cigarette smoke is inhaled, the nicotine affects it. It causes what is called increase in heart rate. Nicotine causes what is called increase in heart rate. That is why when a cigarette smoker inhaled the cigarette smoke, you discover that the person who is having palpitation, the heart will be beating very fast. It causes what is called increase in heart rate. Alright. Now, carbon monoxide. How does carbon monoxide affect? It's one of the risk factors for hypertension. When a cigarette smoke is inhaled, carbon monoxide goes into the lungs, goes into the blood and binds itself with what is called hemoglobin. And we know that hemoglobin is the one that's responsible for the yellowish coloration of blood and also convey oxygen to supply to the vital organs of the body system. So when carbon monoxide binds itself with hemoglobin, it reduces the percentage of oxygen carried by hemoglobin by 15%. And that is why when the cigarette smoker blood is being exposed, you discover that the blood is very dark. Why? Do you ask yourself why? It is because the percentage of oxygen is being reduced by 15% and the hemoglobin. That is why the blood tends to be dark instead of red in color. Now, the tar, which is the last component of smoke. When a cigarette smoke is inhaled, the tar goes and deposited in the lungs. Alright? The tar goes and deposited in the lungs. It is a very distressing fact that most of the substances in tar are known to cause cancer in animals. And it causes what is called emphysema. When we talk of emphysema, what we're referring to that is it causes what we call shortage of exchange of gases. That is oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from the body cells. You know, the rate or the level at which oxygen and carbon dioxide is being exchanged from the body cells and to the lungs is being reduced. So the person will have what we call emphysema. The person will be breathing shallow. You know, the person will not be breathing normally as a normal human being is supposed to breathe. Alright. That is why tobacco smoke is a very risk factor of hypertension. Alright. Another risk factor of hypertension is what is called alcohol. Alcohol causes increase in heart rate. You know, and you know it causes a lot of damage in the body system. Another risk factor is called obesity. How does obesity brings about hypertension? When someone is too fat or when someone is obese, you know that the person is vulnerable of hypertension. The reason is that there is excess of fat in the body, and the rate at which the heart pumps blood to supply the vital organs is being reduced. So the heart is trying to beat very fast so as to compensate other body tissues and organs that are in need of oxygen and nutrients. So people who are obese are also vulnerable to come down with hypertension. If at that point is obese or fat, please reduce your weights. Alright. Now, another risk factor is what is called intake of salt diet. Intake of excess salt diet. We know that salt retains water. And when there is excess of water in the body system, it causes increase in heart rates, and when there is excess of increase in heart rates, hypertension can result. So people who consume a lot of salt are also at risk of coming down with hypertension. If you are a kind or if you are a type that consumes a lot of salt, please reduce. Alright. Another risk factors of hypertension is what is called NSAID. That is people who consume a lot of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Alright. If you're a kind of person that consumes a lot of like diclofenac, alright, all those pain relief, ibuprofen, all those non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, please don't consume a lot of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs unless it is being prescribed by a physician or medical doctor or a health practitioner, or unless there's a need for it. Most people, they took all those paracetamol, diclofenac, ibuprofen unnecessarily. They do abuse it anyhow, which is not right. You're not supposed to consume it unnecessarily unless there's a concern for, or unless there's a need for it. Alright, let's go into the symptoms of hypertension. Alright, what are the symptoms of hypertension? Most people are pursuing their daily activity without knowing that they have hypertension, because most people have hypertension as asymptomatic, meaning that they do not have signs and symptoms of hypertension. The thing is disturbing them, but there's no signs and symptoms that they are experiencing. That is why it's advisable for you to be going to the hospital or health facility to check up your blood pressure. Alright. But some of the symptoms of hypertension or high blood pressure include blurred vision. You discover that the way you'll be seeing, you're having blurred vision, you'll be seeing abnormal, headache. You'll be having abnormal headache. Chest pain, especially beneath the breastbone. We also call angina pectoris. Chest pain that comes in the dizziness. The person will be having dizziness. You know, the person will be having dizziness. You know, palpitation. You'll be having palpitation. You'll be having difficulty in breathing. That is dyspnea. You're having difficulty in breathing. You know, these are some of the signs and symptoms of hypertension. All right. This is why, if you are a type that experience these signs and symptoms, please visit a health facility or go to the hospital or a nearby primary health facility to check up your blood pressure or for medical checkup. All right. Let's go into preventive measures of hypertension. Preventive measures of hypertension. What are the preventive measures of hypertension? So the preventive measure of hypertension includes 1. Regular exercise. If I type that is obese, or if I type that do not exercise, please involve yourself in regular exercises. Or please reduce your weight if I type that is obese. Regular exercise is one of the paramount concern of preventive measures of hypertension. Number 2, reduce intake of salt diet. Don't take too much salt diet in your food, please. Number 3, preventive measure is avoid tobacco smoke and alcohol. Avoid tobacco smoke and alcohol. If I type that smoke about 1 pack of cigarette, please reduce at least 5 sticks or 3 sticks a day. Gradually you will reduce it drastically. And if I type that consume like 5 bottles or 10 bottles a day, please reduce to 2 or 1 a day. All right, it will really help you, and it will reduce the risk of you coming down with hypertension. All right. Now, avoid unnecessary intake of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like paracetamol, diclofenac, and ibuprofen. All right, please do that, and it will really help you. Most people out there, they are unaware of some of the risk factors of hypertension. They are doing it ignorantly and blindly. In fact, while working as a medical practitioner in the Lagos environs, I've discovered that most people, or most young adults, in fact, young adults below the age of 25 years are coming down with hypertension now. When I ask, when you begin to trace on some of the reasons or some of the risk factors, you discover that they are being exposed to cigarette smoke and alcohol consumption. Spirit drinks, all those hard spirit drinks that constitute a lot of alcohol composition. It's not good. And some of them are being lured by peer group influence. Peer group influence. Alcohol brings about a lot of negative effects like HIV and STI transmissions. Because when you consume a lot of alcohol, you discover that you'll be high, and you'll be doing things abnormally. The rate at which you do things or you do things will be abnormal, and you'll be wondering, how is this mean that I do that kind of a thing? Please reduce the risk, the rate at which you consume alcohol and tobacco smoke. Some of them consume weed and then cannabis sativa, etc., etc. And some of them consume a lot of drugs. It's not good for you. It's not good for you at all. I can remember vividly while I was on duty in the hospital. A young guy at about age 22 to 23 years age was rushed to the hospital where I was working on night shift. The guy came in as a result of difficulty breathing, palpitation, and on examination, his blood pressure was elevated about 240 millimeter mercury over 135 millimeter of mercury. Upon proper investigation, the boy confessed that he consumed Colus and other hard drugs. And this young boy was about to die. This young boy was about to die. Death is against our YouTube guidelines. So I'm sorry for you soon die. This young guy was about to permit. If quick action and urgent intervention was not done, this young boy was going. Please take note of that and avoid yourself and avoid being exposed to secondhand smokers. Most people, you are a type that is around with someone that smokes cigarette all the time. It is not good for your health. Please dissociate yourself from that kind of person. Alright. Now, treatment option of hypertension. In the medical management of hypertension, I'm not going to discuss details in that because of the reason. When I discuss details about that, people will be, we go into self-medication, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching me. This is Channel Gusha Elijah. Bye.